Being in nature helps me to accept all forms of nature. When I say all forms, I guess, talking about people. It helps me to accept all forms of people, or
human nature.
Yeah. I try to accept all individuals as nature would accept them. And that's what I'm trying to work towards, and that's what I'm trying to keep doing. I think I've gotten to that point. I really don't judge. I've allowed myself to let nature affect me in this way, and I think it works.
Are you any particular age when you're out here? I mean, are you old? Are you young?
It doesn't come to my mind, really. I don't know well enough, like, how old a tree is, or how long the prairie's been growing, or it's tough to kind of compare my age. So I don't even really think in terms of age. I'm just alive in the woods. I'm still who I am, I guess. What I am sort of changes. Especially if I'm alone, there's no one else out there, no one really to compare myself to. I just kind of feel like another animal, another species, another form of life in nature.
With hiking boots.
With special hiking
Another
boots.
form of life with special hiking boots.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's exactly what I $100 hiking boots.
There you go. Hey, Josh.
What's up?
Which do you think is more essential to the health of the organism? To love or to be loved?
To love.
Josh, when you're out here in the woods, are you connecting to something within yourself that you carry back to the clients that you're working with at the gym?
You definitely get energy from nature, from the trees or the grass. Everything's growing, even though everything is full of life, everything still keeps growing. Only a seasonal change would stop it. Kind of helps to restart growth or regenerate growth. Whereas with us, there's many other factors that can come into play to prevent us from moving forward. But when I'm out in nature, that natural sense of these living things just constantly growing, the persistence of Mother Nature, that gives me energy.
And somehow you're open to that, or you're able to connect to that in a direct way?
Being surrounded by nature's energy helps me to reconnect to myself. Not only just to go out there to enjoy and have fun, but sometimes I lose track of that feeling. Being in nature, I can reconnect to myself and feel whole again. So the hope would be that when I come back from either going on a camping trip, or even if I'm just going on a small day hike, the positive feeling that I get, I try to take that feeling back to my clients or to anyone, whether I'm talking to them at the gym or on the street. Or
like an ambassador from nature?
Going out there makes me feel good, and so I want to take it back and share it with the rest of them.
Isn't it funny the way nature always looks perfect? Why is that? Why does it? Is it because we're nature too? So it's nature looking at nature and there's no separation? I think that's probably it. You know, it's funny, in nature you can really be without any personal identity. You can just be at the level of an organism. Alright, a thinking organism, but not an organism with a history, or psychology, or ambitions. An organism with the identity of an organism, like the trees, the flowers, the animals. No identity to separate an I from the surrounding nature. Just to be absolutely in the flow, in the light, the air, the space, the movement through time.
Hey Josh,
Yeah?
are we in a forest or in a video?
Is, you kind of creating a new experience for me, as in this, I try to create an enjoyable experience for whoever it is that walks through the door and has some sort of interaction with me. All individuals, not so much equal, but try to see them all as beautiful.
In nature, social constructions of beauty just don't apply. Every plant, every tree, every animal meets nature's criteria. The idea of a more beautiful tree, for example, is not of any concern to a tree. You deal with a lot of different people with a lot of different needs, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't just apply one approach to all of the clients, because they all have different needs. Even if you have the same physical need, for example, from two different clients, they both have a bad knee, let's say, but their reaction to the bad knee might be very different, and the story as to how the knee became bad could be very different, right? In order to deal with all of these different kinds of people, with all of these different kinds of needs from you, you have to really, I would think that you'd have to really be an evolved person.
Either you have to be evolved or you got to try to evolve. You definitely have to put forth the effort to evolve as a trainer, and that just comes with time. And if you take pride in your work, then you will search within yourself to figure out, how you're going to approach each separate individual. You could have two people with the same knee injury, but how it affects them they could be worlds apart. each client is their own individual, and you have to treat them that way. You can't mesh them together. You can't even group two of them together. They are all different, and you have to be confident within yourself that you can help these people. I'm grateful to be in this position, that and I really think I have certain capabilities to help the individuals. So I really, I just try to soul search. How am I going to do this? I want my clients to be involved in formulating an approach to a healthier life. Instead of having someone who tells them what to do, or instead of having me telling them what to do all the time. I just want them to know that I'm there to help them in the progress of their own life. And I'm just there to help. I don't want them to depend on me forever. They look to me for some guidance, and I give them the guidance that they're seeking, and, from there, hopefully they'll proceed on their own. I don't want that individual to need me all the time, but I do want them to know, and it to be very clear, that I am there to help when they do need me for help, or when they want my help.
To help them in the progress of their own life. That's a really beautiful phrase, Josh. You expend your energy helping people maintain clean connections to their own energy. It's a really beautiful role.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate to be in that role.
I engaged Josh as a trainer after I'd injured my arm at the gym through overenthusiasm. Once I began working with him, I picked up on this unique vibe that he seemed to give off, and I proposed that we try to make a tape that could convey it to other people. He'd never done anything like that before, but he was willing to give it a try. On the night before we were supposed to start, I got a call from him. He had a lot of misgivings, couldn't find a way into the project, and I suggested some possible points of entry. None of them seemed to do the trick. And then I heard in the background that he was listening to some Bob Marley record. And I said to Josh that when Bob Marley had made that record in the early 70s, he had no idea that 35 years later Josh would be listening to it and picking up on the vibe of those songs. But he certainly knew that somebody would be. And I said that's all we were going to try to do. We were going to try to get Josh's song down, lay down some tracks. That's all he needed. He said goodnight, and the next day we set to work.